Was popping. I'm gonna have to fake the funk a little bit on the energy side of things because your boy is spent. I just got back from the gym and I'm toast. But I'm here anyway because I got a job to do. So here we go. Number one, free and easy. It's been almost a week now, so what happened in that Rams game at this point is a little inconsequential. You've heard every breakdown, so we don't have to dig that deep into it. Let's just say a 3-score win was more than what I expected, but I'll take it any day of the week. That's now consecutive weeks where we've won games by multiple scores, so you got to be happy about it. And gotta admit, for a while, I was a little worried about what Baker Mayfield may do to the Chargers defense after the Rams put up a 50-burger on the Broncos, even though that had more to do with other things, not just the Broncos defense. But again, I digress. None of that really matters. Chargers handled business as they needed to. You're looking now at a double-digit win season, which, yeah, pretty freaking amazing. And on to the next, which is the Broncos at Mile High. And those games are kind of weird, but luckily, you're looking at a situation where not a whole lot is on the line. Well, I mean, the 5th seed, of course, so they have something to play for, but it's not a win or go home or real season finale. So, bravo, Chargers. Moving on to the Dooski. Power moves. Eck with a 70-plus yard touchdown run. Thing of beauty. And it came off of a power run concept. I'm not going to sit here and pat myself on the back because I don't claim to be an expert. Played a lot of football. Been around it practically all my life. And I've seen a few things that work. And I know what doesn't when it comes to personnel. The Chargers have a very particular set of skills. Liam Neeson, what up? And on the offensive line, it doesn't lend itself very well to zone schemes. Got Matt Filer out there, a bit of a lumberer. Trey Pipkins is on a bum knee. Zion can pull it off, but he's still learning. Corey Linsley can do either, but he can move as well. And right now, you got Jamari Sawyer at left tackle, who is not the fleetest of foot. Sorry. Power works. You should utilize it. And I don't know why they won't stick with it. But, hey, if you want to mix it in for more than just a couple plays a game, be my guest. But let's stick with what works. I'm not saying be predictable, but again, it worked. So why try to fix what ain't broken? Anyway, I'm a fan of the run game. Y'all know how I am. I'm old school like that. Want to see the run set up the pass. That's not the way the Chargers operate. I'm going to have to get over that apparently. But in the playoffs, could pay dividends. Just saying, they should keep it going. Just my 2 cents though. Number 3 is up next. And wouldn't you know it, we had a BAHHR sighting. Yellowstone fans will get that. Long live Teeter. Joey played. And for someone who's been out for multiple weeks, he had a little juice to him. Apparently he was dealing with food poisoning too. I mean, of course, he wasn't the typical Joey Bosa, so the pressures weren't coming fast and frequently. He played a limited number of snaps. But from what I saw, especially from the bull rush, give him a couple weeks, he'll be good to go. He was creating pressure from the opposite side of Khalil Mack, which is great for a change because we've not seen a ton of that. In recent weeks, Kyle Van Noy has been doing his thing, though, so it's been better in weeks prior to Joey coming, leading up to his return. But before that, practically non-existent. So it's really cool to see this guy back in the fold in the playoffs. Going to be a sight to behold when you're playing against some of those high-flying teams, the passing teams like your Buffalo Bills, for instance. I doubt they'll get super high gear into running the ball, although they kind of have a quarterback that does it pretty well. But you get where I'm going. Anybody who likes to toss it around a little bit, feel better knowing that you have 2 dominant pass rushers, and now Khalil probably gets freed up a bit. You get to move Van Noy around again. You can get creative with your pass rush, different blitzes, packages, personnel. It's all good. And we've been waiting for this for a while. Didn't get to see a ton of it throughout the season due to Joey getting hurt so early. So, crank this thing up, man. Time to get after some folks. And this team has a real opportunity to make some noise. So, let's get to it. I have all the confidence in the world in Joey that he'll be ready to cook when the lights are on and they're biggest and brightest. I have no reason to believe otherwise. He's a primetime player. And so are some of the other bigger names on this defense. So, yeah, there's a chance for this team to do some real damage in the dance. Fo. Moses Malone. Calling this one Spill It. Yo, somebody's going to have to tell me something, man. I don't understand. The kid hasn't even been active the last few weeks. I understand that Larry Roundtree offers more on special teams, which is why he's been RB3, and circumstances dictated that he get actual offensive carries last week. Still chapped my hide, though. I hated seeing him getting garbage time work that Isaiah Spiller could have benefited from. And there's no question who the better back is, just even from an attribute standpoint. And if the kid is crapping the bed in practice or something, okay. But in the short amount of time that we saw him take snaps in the regular season, I didn't see anything that he did that was egregious. I didn't see any real issues in pass protection. And that's kind of been a farce anyway, because it was something that he did really well at A&M, especially in his last couple of years. Every year he got better at it. We've been down this road before. Look, I don't have to keep telling you why I like Spiller. I just want to know why the Chargers don't seem to. It feels like a red shirt year thing, and I mean, I just think that he's being underutilized. And when you get into the playoffs, keep saying this, if you had a capable back, one that could do a little bit of the best of what your top two backs do, then it makes you more versatile and helps with you being less predictable in your play calling, and you can get multiple backs out on the field, and you don't have to condense things down, and you can really put the fear of God into some of these defenses. But I guess it's not in the Chargers' plans, and I find it really hard to believe they're going to give him any real work in the playoffs if they haven't really done so in the regular season. So I guess I'll just have to get over it, and 23 will be the year. Whatevs. I can give credit where credit is due. I don't like the guy, but moving into number 5. Jolly good, Joe. Hell of a game plan this past week. I just need to see some consistency. Pretty much everything was going. Running game, passing game. Complemented each other nicely. There weren't a ton of weird play calls, a few here and there. But we weren't in a situation where the game depended on Herbert saving the Chargers. And that's what I want. Some balance. Give the kid some help. Wouldn't it be a shocker if we go into the playoffs and Joe has this entire bag of tricks he hadn't unloaded, and he's basically been playing the Gump role all regular season just to screw us and give us the, thumb his nose at all Chargers fans? I don't foresee that happening. And also, I don't really want it to happen because I want the dude gone still. So I'm kind of putting the cart before the horse with all this. I don't think it's actually going to happen. Just saying, hypothetical. But again, let's see what happens this week against the Broncos. I don't think he's going to come out and show anything that he hasn't shown all season. Really probably not the wisest thing to do right before the playoffs start. But just give me another game where you roll out some balanced play calling and keep the load off of Herbert's shoulders. Fighting for the 5th seed, so you can't go out there and lay an egg. You can't be laxed. But it would be really nice to have another scenario where the starters aren't playing the entirety of the game. And there's some scenarios that have to play out, that may play out before the Chargers even come onto the field, that will tell you, before the Chargers kick off, that will let us know exactly what we're looking at going into next week. But you do want that 5 seed. If you're going to be playing anybody you want to play against the AFC South in the first round, Jacksonville, the Titans, Give me either one, preferably the Titans. But I do think that the Chargers will beat the Jags the second time around. It'll definitely be a tougher game, though, especially with the prince that was promised, Mr. Sunshine himself, playing much better ball lately. So, yo, that's it, man. You've heard enough of me blabbering. I appreciate you guys, per usual, for joining me. And till the next one, keep this in the tuck, marinate on it, and I'll shoot you another 5, hot and spicy. You know how I do. Y'all take it easy. Gone.